Welcome back to the Mark and Brian radio program. Well, this is an honor, a pleasure. I don't think we've ever talked to this guy. He's never been on our show, but we congratulate him and the Los Angeles Lakers. And welcome to the show, Mr. Chick Hearn.
Hi, guys.
How are you,
Brian?
sir? Did you get some sleep last night?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting ready to leave for the parade.
Yeah, well, you got to be proud.
Yeah, very proud. They did a good job. They played hard all year. They had their ups and downs, but they came together, and I think it formed a very good team. They're not a great team compared to some of the others in the past, but they are a very good team that's going to be great in the future.
Well, you are a great announcer. Let us just say that. Big fan of yours. Do you ever think about how long you're going to be doing this? You probably get asked this all the time because you've been doing it for so many years.
No, I don't know. They keep telling me that they're going to be champions for the next 3 or 4 years also. So I want to stay around, so I'll have 11 rings.
Yeah, well, you do that. You stay around. I guess when you're calling a game and you see a Shaq in the first quarter and he seems flat-footed and he just doesn't seem like he's really given his all, how much of that is true and how much of that is our high expectations of a player like Shaq?
No, I think sometimes he or other players have a slow start, no question about that. In the last game, he was 2 out of his first 8 shots, which is not any good for him. And then all of a sudden he gets into the swing of it. And again, too, you must remember that his teammates have to give him the ball at the right time, at the right instant, in the right spot on the floor. And sometimes they don't do that. That makes him look a little bit sluggish.
Yeah.
But Shaq is truly, and without question, I think within the next 2-3 years, going to be regarded as the greatest center that ever played. And that's quite a compliment when you think of Kareem and Wilt and Bill Russell and that ilk.
True.
Chick, of course, Phil Jackson being added to the team meant a great deal and obviously showed that the man has a great talent. Do you see him as being a great deal of what the Lakers were able to accomplish? Because you said the Lakers weren't a great team.
No, I don't think they were a great team. I think Magic Johnson's team was a great team. I think the 71-72 team was a great team. But this team is just starting. Heaven's sake, they were thrown together. And no one expected them to win the Western Conference. They won that, and then they go on to win the World Championship. But that doesn't mean they weren't a very, very good team. They were. And at times they were a great team. But overall picture, I don't think anybody in a position to make a judgment would say they were a great team.
And how much do
they won it all, and that's pretty good.
How much do you think Phil Jackson and his talent had to do with what the Lakers were able to accomplish this year?
Oh, I think it had everything in the world to do with it. I think that Phil Jackson and his staff, always add that word, his staff, because the help that Jackson gets from his staff is unbelievably good. But see, the first thing that Jackson did after he got the job in June was to have a private session for 3 or 4 days up in Montana with Shaq. And the session was to say, literally, Shaq, you're a good player now, but if you want to be a great player, recognized as one of the greatest of all time, you've got to change your ways. You've got to think differently. You've got to play differently. You've got to improve your game. You've got to get in top shape, and you've got to convince your teammates of all of these same things. And he sold Shaq on that idea. Shaq came down and told all the other guys what the man had said. They all bought it, and therefore they became a happy family. Wow. And they became a team that I think succeeded beyond their means.
Yeah,
they certainly weren't the most talented team in the league, no question about that. And I don't think Jerry West or Mitch Kupchak or Jerry Buss would deny that. But the fact is that Phil Jackson and his staff taught them how to play, how to win, how to think winning, and that's why the headlines say the nice things they're saying about them today.
Chick, you know, you do these interviews. In fact, I became a Laker fan during the Magic years.
That was a great years.
Those were great years. In fact, we moved out here and started doing the show during those years. And I was not from this state. I really wasn't a Laker fan. You made me a Laker fan. You did a up close and personal.
That you're talking about. I rate the Laker teams, those teams of the 80s with Magic and with Kareem and so forth, worthy as the number 1 team of all time for the Lakers. Number 2 team, I think, was Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and Wilt back in 71-72. And I think this team now deserves to be rated number 3. But they've got a chance, and I think they'll grab that chance and ascend higher yet. They'll make some changes personnel-wise that'll help back up certain positions that were frightfully weak this year when you talk about a great team.
Chick, one of the great things about what you are able to share is that you have been there for almost every Laker game for as far back as the Lakers have been here. Is there one particular moment that you remember as so incredibly remarkable you'll never forget it?
A game or player or what?
Like maybe a game or a moment in a game.
Oh, I think a moment in the game came back in '87. I believe it was '87 when the Lakers beat Boston at Boston Garden. No team had ever beaten them at the Garden for the World Championship game. And Magic made what Chick called a baby skyhook from the free throw line, getting it over McHale and Robert Parrish, two big guys, and it swished through to give the Lakers the victory. Another one that I'll never forget, of course, was Jerry West made a 63-footer against New York in a playoff game. But the diminishing factor there is that they lost that game in overtime. But I've been fortunate to be around so long and to see all of these great stars that you obviously can't think of all of them at the same time, but those are just a couple of them. But it all started with the first game that Magic played with Kareem. We're playing in San Diego. San Diego was supposed to be a pigeon, and the Lakers were supposed to beat them. But the Lakers are down by one with about 5 seconds to go. And Magic, a rookie, threw the ball to Kareem at the free throw line. He swung left. He had a right-hand hook shot. It went through the net as the buzzer sounded. Magic, with a one-point victory now, ran and jumped and grabbed around the neck of Kareem, put his legs around Kareem, squeezed him, and Kareem said, "Get down, kid." It's only the first game of the year. It's only the first game of the year.
Pat Riley used to sit next to you. Do you still have a good relationship?
Oh, very close to Pat. He was with me 3 years in the league.
Yeah.
In fact, when they asked him to be an assistant coach, he came to me and said, "I want they want me to be an assistant coach. What do you think?" I said, "Geez, I just taught you to say a whole sentence without stuttering." I said, "No, you can't go. You got a contract with me." And then he said, "Oh, that's what I want. I want to stay. I want to be in radio and TV." Well, I said, "Let me think about it till morning." And the next morning I thought about it. The family had good background in sports, and Pat had great background in sports, had great coaching at Kentucky from Ad Rupp. And so I said, "I think you got to go, Pat." "Oh, I don't want to go." And I said, "Well, do it. Will you give me a written contract? I can come back if I don't make it." So he's got that contract hanging on his wall in his office down in Miami. He made it pretty good.
Will Larry Bird coach again? I mean, not with the Pacers, obviously, but will he land somewhere?
Larry Bird was a great coach.
He was a great coach.
I think he did a heck of a job.
I don't want him to quit, but he's going to.
I don't either. He had you see, you got to surround yourself with capable teachers, and he had one in Dick Harder and another in young Rick Carlisle. Carlisle might get the job unless you know something I don't know, that they've announced some other person taking the job this morning. I keep hearing Isaiah Thomas. I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I'd like to see him hire Byron Scott. Byron has paid his dues as an assistant coach, and I think he could do a great job.
But will Larry Bird coach again somewhere?
Oh, no.
You don't think so?
Oh, I don't think so. Larry's a very firm man.
Yeah.
I talked to him just before the last game, and his mind is set. He's going to be in the organization in Indiana, and he'll provide them with some great leadership mentally and in their selection and trades and so forth. Those are so important, and those are the things that are overlooked where Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak are concerned. It's not an easy job, guys.
Yeah.
You can make mistakes making trades, and sometimes they benefit you.
Sure.
You never know.
You know, Chick, in your interviews, you are able to bring out some great personal moments. The man behind the basketball star. What about you? What do you like to do for your hobbies, and what do you do to keep busy?
Well, I used to play golf every day at Wilshire Country Club where I belong, and I had to quit that when my shoulder went bad, and I didn't want to undergo surgery. And so I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time doing crossword puzzles. Marge and I spend a lot of time driving here, there, and everywhere. We down to the Palm Springs, down to Newport, go up to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas next week and do a basketball camp for a week. And it's just something every week, but it's something that I enjoy very much. And doing it together, Marge and I find great happiness in it. And, of course, we've got a void to fill in our lives, and that's what we try to do, is to keep busy.
Well, listen, Chick, enjoy the parade this morning. It's well-deserved, and you're part of it. Congratulations on such an incredible career that you've...
That's very nice of you, Mark and Brian, and I am so grateful that you had me on your show. Thank you.
Well, keep doing it, sir.
All I had to do was miss breakfast.
All right. We'll get you an Egg McMuffin or something.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chick. Well, he's like you said. I mean, he's been doing it forever, and I hope he continues to do it. There's nothing better. I mean, a lot of people, most people do this. They'll turn down the TV, the sound on the TV, and listen to the radio broadcast with Chick because he's a staple.
Los Angeles has their share of that. Great broadcasters in this city, Vin Scully, Chick Hearn. And the very same thing, you can go to a Dodger game, and I don't think I've been to a Dodger game where there's not somebody within earshot that's got a boom box, and they got the thing jacked up to Vin Scully. I mean jacked up, and no one complains.
I don't know that it's true that Vin Scully is the longest, had the longest career of any play-by-play announcer in baseball. He may have. Certainly, Chick Hearn has had the longest play-by-play career of any basketball radio announcer. So I think LA's got two of the absolute legends.
It's a real. I mean, you should keep that in mind as you listen to it. How lucky we are to have such Hall of Famer broadcasters that do what they do.
And,
one more thing. Does Chick call the whole game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Stu Lance.
Because Vin doesn't.
Yeah, Stu often will, and as Chick gets older, Stu will often be sort of a safety net for Chick as he gets going. I mean, you heard a bit of it today, but you're into this team, the championship game. It's a 7th game, and Shaq's playing great, Kobe's, and the whole team's playing great. And he'll go, "This is not the best team. This is not a great team." Okay, I know, but gosh, okay.
Now, even the broadcasting guy with the Braves, and I don't know if this is because he's just up in his years and can't finish the whole game on TV, but Harry Carey's son, Skip Carey, who's excellent, will step in and call the remaining 4 innings on TV. I don't know what the radio situation is. I don't know.
It's always the way it's been in baseball.
Somebody else will come in and kind of slap 5, and they'll.
Well, yeah. I mean, they trade innings or every 3rd inning or something.
Why?
Like that. I don't know. It's tradition.
I want to hear one guy.
I think it started with Carey, Harry Carey. So you can get a beer.
Yeah, you can have a hot dog.